Hey friends, welcome to class. This is definitely intermediate or maybe even advanced level Vinyasa practice, somewhere around power Vinyasa. We're going to move in fast, moving strong, deep flexibility, and big strength. I won't be using any props, but if you like props, go for it. And when you're ready, you can join me in a comfortable seat on the ground or on a cushion. We're just going to jump right into breathing. If you wish to take a mudra, you can. Maybe prana mudra like I have here, where the tip of the thumb is touching the tip of the ring finger and the pinky on each hand, and the other two fingers are extended long. Don't fuss over it though, huh? Just take a comfortable seat. Take a moment to ground into your breath. To let your breath ground into you. Scan the body, scan the heart, scan the mind. How is it you're feeling today? What is it that brought you to practice today? What brought me to practice today was this need to purify. In this practice, it holds a bit of a paradox, yeah? We greet ourselves exactly as we are, honoring our wholeness and our fullness, while also opening ourselves up to the liberating process of purification. So we start this practice of purification with the breath. Allow it to move in and out, either quietly or loudly, quickly or slowly, in any way you need to feel like you're entering this moment of your practice. You can keep your eyes closed if you wish as you inhale, bring your arms up, and exhale, circle sweep them wide. Inhale, bring them straight up. Exhale, open them wide. Inhale up and exhale wide. Keep moving like this in your breath. And bring your hands to your heart in Anjali Mudra, sealing your intention for practice. Maybe it's purifying just like mine. And before we get moving big, we'll warm up just a tiny bit. But like I said, this is a pretty fast practice today. So you can take what you like. You can modify as you need to. You can take breaks. And remember, if you get confused at all through the quick pace, that's the beauty of the membership. You can take classes again and again. These types of fast, kind of confusing practices is really how I leveled up my practice, to be honest with you, or my pose practice, and my breath practice too. Okay. When you're ready, come to tabletop pose and begin to sway a bit side to side through the spine, the hips, turning this into barrel rolls maybe. Most importantly, breathing big. This doesn't have to look any certain way. It should just feel lubricating through the spine. You can bring your neck into it, your shoulders into it. Eventually, maybe it turns into more straightforward cat and cow spinal waves. Inhaling to open your heart. Exhaling to round the spine and bring the hips back. But then pretty quickly, let's get strong. Inhale, pick up the left leg. And pick up the right arm for tiger pose. Find core contraction here. Isometrically squeeze your bottom hand and knee toward each other, but they don't move. Eventually, bring the right hand down. Push up through the hips. Keep the left leg up through one-legged down dog. And we'll step the left leg down. Bring the knees down and prepare for second side. Extend your right leg long behind you. Very strong here from tabletop pose. Extend your left arm long in front of you, finding length from toes to fingertips. Contraction in the core. Breathe. Find your center. Find your drishti, your focal point on your breath. And bring the left hand down, push through the hips, keep the right leg up, one-legged dog. And we'll bring the foot down. And back down to the knees. And all the way down to the belly. Inhale, Bhujangasana, strong legs in cobra pose. Exhale, child's pose. Take a few breaths right here. In your child's pose today, let this be a moment to breathe into yourself and promise yourself that even as you purify, you're not going to abandon yourself or your needs through your physical asana practice. When you're ready, press yourself up and back to Adho Mukha, downward facing dog for some spinal waves. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale, hips high, Adho Mukha. Inhale, plank pose, strong fingertips, strong shoulders. Exhale, down dog. Keep moving like this, finding fluidity in the spine. Strengthen the belly, strengthen the legs and arms. At the same time, we are stretching through the legs, through the heart space even, and especially through the breath. Allow the inhales to bring you all the way forward and the exhale to initiate your shift back. Can you let your asana be in service of your breath? Eventually meeting in Adho Mukha, downward facing dog, holding here, drawing the belly in and up. Fiercely strong fingers. Taking the time to shift, maybe pedal the feet if you need to. Before we step forward to the top of the mat, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. If you have a sweater on like me, you might want to shed it. We're gonna get toasty. Some Agni, some purifying fire. Inhale, halfway lift again. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Hang here for a moment. Before we inhale, halfway lift again. Exhale, fold. Maybe this time holding opposite elbows. Keep bending the knees if you need to, huh? Again, halfway lift. And here, stay here. Plug the shoulder blades back and maybe start to bend a knee at a time as you swivel the hips side to side. It's kind of a hamstring stretch, kind of a little hip stretch, a little twist. Maybe you twist to the right as your left knee bends. Twist to the left as your right knee bends. And we'll come to center through fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, just to come all the way up to standing. Urdhva Hastasana, reach to the sky. Exhale, Tadasana, hands at your heart and your sides. Breathe here for just a moment. Let's get moving though. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, circle sweep them back. Take a few big shoulder loops like this. And then a side bend to the right. Interlace your fingers. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, Utkatasana, bend the knees, sink the hips back, reach up. Strong legs, strong belly. Strong, strong, strong hold. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plank pose and Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. Exhale, either to dog or add on an extra Chaturanga today for the power. Either way, meeting in Adho Mukha, down dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee tuck towards your right arm, squeeze, hold. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, twist underneath you towards the left arm, squeeze and plank. Inhale, bring the right leg up and back. Exhale, squeeze to step it through. Inhale, rise up high, lunge. With the right leg leading. Power in the legs, a big stretch through the quads, strong belly. Reach the arms forward as you exhale, round the spine, and inhale, open your arms wide. It's kind of like cat and cow in the lunge. Use your core. Find the core strength in standing work. That's really a big invitation I have for you. Find the core engagement from the ground up. Pick up the left leg. Exhale, squeeze it in Shiva squat. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, squeeze really fast. Inhale, back. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, back. And bring it up to Ekapada Tadasana, one-legged mountain pose. Hold the left leg up with the knee bent. Bring it out to the side, flex the toes, just to do a very slow step back to Virabhadrasana number 2. Right leg is forward, right arm is forward, strong belly, strong legs, a light heart. Find your focal point, and the inhale, reverse warrior. Just a pivot forward, high lunge, facing the right leg. Hands come down. And we'll step back to plank pose, huge inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing. Exhale, either down dog or through chaturanga, meeting in Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. Inhale, eventually. Well, first, before we do the other side, take a breath here in dog. And then inhale, pick up the left leg. Squeeze the knee in towards the left arm. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, squeeze it towards the right arm. So strong. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, step it through. We'll rise to high crescent lunge with the left leg leading. Remember, finding the core work here, finding the leg work here. Push down through the feet, hug to the midline. And we'll open the arms wide as we inhale, round and reach forward as we exhale. Finding the breath. A few rounds of these before we do those weird Shiva squat pulses, hands to heart. Bring your right knee in and bring the foot back. Bring it in, back, in, and bring it all the way up to Ekapada Tadasana, one-legged mountain. And then bring the right knee wide with the leg still bent, just to slowly transition back to warrior 2. Left leg forward, left arm forward. Find your power here. What does it mean to purify? Through stillness and motion. Eventually inhale, swivel forward to high lunge. Hands come down, step back. Inhale for your plank pose. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Exhale, you can either come through Chaturanga or straight to downward facing dog. You can pedal out the feet a bit here if you need to. Breathe into the back of your heart. Breathe into your legs. Breathe into your spine. Eventually, we'll lift the heels, look forward. Exhale, step, hop, or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Take your fold for a moment, breathing, not here too long. Eventually bending the knees, sinking the hips low. Inhale, swoop arms up, Utkatasana, fierce pose. Deep breath in. Exhale, push up, reach your arms up. Finish the exhale to bring your hands to your heart and your sides, mountain pose. And then interlace your fingers behind your back, open your shoulders. You could stay right here standing. Enjoy the shoulder stretch, Or if you wish to deepen, you could bend the knees a bit. Hinge from the hips, not through rounding the low back, but through the hip crease. Slowly folding, reaching your hands away from you, opening the shoulders a lot. And, because this practice is fast, if there's any poses that I do in this practice that you want more explanation of, check my pose tutorials. It might be there. And if it's not there, tell me and I'll make one. Come to plank pose when you're ready. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee tuck, squeezing towards the right arm. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, squeezing towards the left arm. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee tuck, squeeze to step it through. Inhale, rise up, high crescent lunge with the right leg leading, huge breathing. But this time we're going to twist, so hooking left elbow outside of right thigh, hands in prayer. Or you could take any version of a lunge twist you like with the arms open, perhaps. Inhale, arms come up, lose the twist. Bring the hands behind your head so you can open your chest, fan your elbows wide. But keep hugging the front ribs in, hugging the belly in to protect your low spine. Eventually bring your hands to your heart again. Shiva squat, squeeze left knee in. Extend it back through warrior 3 this time, a bit stronger. Exhale, squeeze the knee in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze, and bring the left knee into the chest for one-legged mountain pose. Left hand to left shin this time as you open the hip out to the left. Flexing the toes. Keep pushing through the right leg. That's going to be important later. Eventually we'll lose it, but we'll bring the left ankle over the right thigh for temple pose. Keep flexing your left toes. Sink your hips low by bending the right knee. You can reach your arms up to find length in the spine, and eventually, forget about it. We'll step the left leg back, come into Virabhadrasana number 2. Strength and power here. Notice the power of presence in all of your poses. Eventually swivel forward, inhale, high lunge. Hands come down inside the right foot. Just take a brief little lizard lunge pulse here. You might try to sneak the right shoulder underneath the right leg. It doesn't matter if it's happening. We're kind of trying for this here. Squeezing the leg into the shoulder into the leg. Maybe you stay there. Maybe you spread your arms wide. If it didn't happen, who cares? Swivel into side plank if you like, with the left hand supporting you, right arm reaching over, finding a lot of length. Downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, chaturanga, or straight to downward facing dog. When you're ready, after you've caught your breath, gathered your energy, maybe regulated your heart rate a bit, we'll prepare for second side. Inhale, pick up the left leg. Exhale, squeeze the left knee in towards the left arm. Obliques engagement. Inhale, bring it up and back. Exhale, squeeze it towards the right arm. Find that twist. Good. Inhale, bring it up and back. Find full breathing. Exhale, step it through. Inhale to rise up through high crescent lunge in your time as you need it. We're going to turn it into a twist, bringing the right elbow to hook outside the left thigh with our hands in prayer, but, not forcing. If you prefer an open twist, take your arms wide open. Keep pushing your hands into each other, trying to open your heart towards your thumbs, if that makes sense. Plug your shoulder blades back. Power in the legs. And then we'll face forward. Inhale, arms up, 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 up. Then we'll bring the hands to the heart, preparing for those weird Shiva squat things. We're going to bring the back leg in through warrior 3. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, extend. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, warrior 3. Exhale, we'll bring the right knee up for one-legged mountain. Hold the shin with your right hand. Engage the foot and bring the knee wide to open the hip. Keep pushing down through standing leg, lengthening low back. And then we'll cross right ankle over left thigh. Flex the right toes for temple pose. Hands at your heart or extending them up above like we did before. We're going to do more with this later, but know that when we revisit it, you can stay here. Okay, eventually we'll step the right leg back and open wide to warrior 2. Left leg, left arm forward. Very strong practice today. Feel your power, feel your strength, even if you're choosing rest. Inhale, face forward, high lunge. Exhale, hands are going to come inside the left leg. Now stay here in your lizard lunge, kind of pulsing. That's plenty. Or we're going to kind of sneak the left shoulder underneath the left leg. Either stay here or push shoulder and leg into each other. Maybe extending the arms wide to bring them off the ground. That's a lot of strength. Whatever, who cares if it didn't happen? You can come to side plank if you want on the right hand, reaching left arm up and over. Just keep engaging your fingertips so your wrists don't hurt. Eventually, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forward like a wave to plank position. Exhale, chaturanga, and to the belly. Bring the fingers wide, elbows point up. Coming into a few sets of waving cobras. So we'll inhale, keep the legs strong, open the heart, push down through your feet. Exhale, lower back down. Like a wave, let the heart slingshot forward rather than cranking it up too high. You might come high as a result, but don't force it. There's a bend through the whole back here. Wave again, deep breath in. Exhale, twist to the left, dipping your right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the right, dipping your left shoulder. Inhale, center, huge Bhujangasana Cobra pose. Exhale, hips go back, back, back. And again, if you want a few more of those kneeling spinal waves, you can take them through tabletop. Let them be kind of organic. You can pick up your feet with it if you like, or just keep it standard, or just hold your child's pose. Eventually, we'll inhale, come onto the shins. Bring your arms up and cactus the elbows. Cross your left arm over your right arm for eagle arms, Garudasana. If that's not happening, just give yourself a hug. Inhale, bring the arms up. And we're going to lean back a bit. We're going to prepare to step forward with the left leg for low lunge. The right knee stays down. Now keep the front ribs in, keep the belly in. Even though that back knee is down, Anjaneyasana is still a strong pose. Opening through the back thigh, the shoulders. Release the eagle arms. Bring the arms wide. Open your heart. Bring the right hand down under your right shoulder. Left hand to left thigh. Let the left knee go out a bit. Flex your toes and twist over to the left. You could stay right there, really. You do not need to reach back and hold that foot with your left hand. But if you want to, go for it. We're not here long, so it's not really worth fussing over. Maybe pulse briefly through a half split. Come back forward to this lizard lunge, opening the hip a bit more to the side. And forget about it. Eventually sliding back onto our shins. Second side, bring the left arm on top of the right arm. Whenever you're ready, we're going to slowly prepare. Breathing into the back body, stepping the right foot forward for low lunge on the second side. Anjaneyasana. Be mindful of the low back. You can maybe floss through the shoulders by bringing the elbows up and down a touch. Eventually release eagle arms. Open your arms wide. Open your heart even wider, but keep the ribs in. Breathe into the backside. Preparing for twisted monkey. Left fingers come down. Right hand either comes to right thigh, and you just keep twisting to the right. Stay here. That's great. Or maybe you bend your back knee, pick up the foot, and hold it with the right hand. Breathing into heart, into thigh. Not forcing anything, just allowing the opening to happen. Trusting the process of purification. My teacher used to always say, holding your foot doesn't make you a better person. So keep that in mind. Open the hip a bit here through neutral lizard lunge before you step it back to downward facing dog. Either taking rest or inhale, coming to a plank pose. And then coming into side plank with the right hand supporting you, pushing into fingertips and reaching the left arm underneath you like a twist. Inhale up. Exhale, reach underneath your rib cage, rinsing from the belly. Keep really pushing into your right hand. Eventually, left hand comes down, down dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Into side plank on the left side. Reach the right arm up. Exhale, twist underneath you. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, twist underneath you. Inhale, bring it up. Super strong. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, you can rest or take plank pose. And take some more spinal waves back to down dog. Inhale like a wave to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Really doing this as few or as many times as you like. Sometimes I really like the spinal waves, so I'll do a lot of them, but do as many as you like, eventually meeting me in downward facing dog. In Adho Mukha Svanasana, we'll inhale, pick up the right leg, bend the knee and open the hip. Exhale, again, knee tucked towards the right arm. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, squeeze towards the left arm. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, squeeze to step it through. A bit of change is coming on this round. We'll inhale, come up to high lunge. Bring the hands behind the head. Inhale, fly the heart open again. Just for a moment, interlace the fingers behind your back. Roll the shoulders back, stay here, or exhale, bow inside the right leg for a lunge variation of Humble Warrior. Not here for super long. We'll inhale, come up, hands to your heart. pick up the left leg and just bring it straight into one-legged mountain. Okay, so you could either bring the left hand on the left shin like we did before. Stay here. This is plenty, opening the hip out. But if you want more, you could reach the left hand inside the left leg to grab the pinky toe edge of the foot. Plug the left shoulder back. Plug it back, plug it back. Push through the right leg. Maybe stay bent. Maybe you straighten the leg out. Maybe you open it out to the side for this form of Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Hand to big toe pose, basically. Keep pushing through the standing leg. Eventually bring the leg forward. If that didn't happen, who cares? Bring left ankle over right thigh. Temple pose, bend the right knee. Stay here if you want to stay here. Open the hips. This is great. If you like arm balancing, we can play with flying pigeon. Ekapada Galavasana. If you're curious, I'll face forward so you see me better here. Don't worry. You're going to bring the hands down. If you can't reach to the ground, you're not there yet. That's okay. Be where you are. But you're going to hook the toes around the foot. Push toes and arm in. Toes around the foot. No, I meant to say toes around the arm. You're going to hook the toes around the arm and squeeze the toes and the arm into each other. Maybe you pick up that back heel. Maybe you just bounce with it. Maybe you don't lift up at all. Maybe you extend it straight behind you. If it didn't happen, it really doesn't matter. Forget about it. We meet back in temple pose. Just a step, the left leg back. We'll inhale, open up to warrior two. Right leg leading. That was fast, I know. Inhale, come into reverse warrior, any variation you like, reaching right arm back, and then coming into side angle pose. So, choices here. That left hand can stay on your hip, your right arm can stay on the ground, or even forearm could come to your thigh. For a more intermediate approach, you could reach the hands back, open your shoulders, and core supported side angle, or we can play with binding. If you want to play with binding, bring the right hand inside the right leg, reach the left hand behind you. Hands find each other, but here's the trick. Don't let this collapse your shoulders. Let this open your heart while you squeeze the belly in. Not here long, though. Let's exit. Come back into our lunge, bringing the right arm underneath the right leg. You could stay here. You could bring the arms wide again like we did before. Or, again, go for a bind. Take what you like. And if you want to take a side plank on the left side, push into left fingers, reach right arm over. Maybe bring it into wild thing very briefly, huh? No force, just allowing it to happen. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Take rest, take dog, take vinyasa, take what you like. I'm coming from plank pose, inhale upward facing, exhale downward facing. So yeah, vinyasa. Okay, inhale left leg high. Exhale, knee tuck towards the left arm. We'll do that madness on the other side. Inhale, bring it high. Exhale, squeeze it underneath you in that twist. Inhale, bring it high. Exhale, squeeze to step it through. Inhale, high lunge with the left leg leading. Pace is getting pretty quick. Listen to your body. Inhale, open your heart with hands behind the head. Breathe here. Interlace fingers behind the back, stay here, or exhale, fold inside the left leg for this form of humble warrior. Really opening through the shoulders. Now with all this binding, you kind of see why we need them open. Eventually working towards a pretty big pose where we really need it. Hands to your heart. Come to balance on the left leg. Bring the right leg up. Hold the shin with the right hand. Opening the hip out is a great place to be, or reach inside the leg to grab outside of the foot with the right hand. Keep it bent or straighten it. Stay here or open the hip out to the side for Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana B. Strong belly. I can't emphasize enough in standing balance to focus on the leg you're standing on more than the leg you're lifting even. All right, we'll bring in front of us, cross the right ankle over the left thigh, flex your toes, sink the hips low to temple. You can stay here. Really. But if your hands come to the ground, we're going to slowly bring the toes to wrap around that arm that they're naturally near. Yes, squeeze them into each other. Find pressure, like into each other. Look ahead of you rather than between your hands. Heart lowers, hips lift, belly engages. You squeeze that back heel in towards the glute. Maybe it stays there. Maybe it straightens behind you. I'll do a post tutorial on that soon. That was really quick, I know. If it didn't happen, don't worry about it. Come up to temple. Just to step the right leg back into Virabhadrasana number 2. Left arm forward. Gaze towards left fingertips. And inhale, come into reverse warrior. Any variation works. Really just a transition. We're coming towards side angle pose with a lot of different choices. Remember, left forearm can come to your thigh. You can stay here. Left fingers can come to the ground inside the leg, or you can reach your hands behind your back to open your chest, engage your core. Last choice is binding. Left hand comes down inside the leg. Left hand reaches back and behind. Right hand tries to find that hand. If they don't reach each other, it's okay. But watch here. See, I open my heart into the bind. I don't let it round my spine forward. No matter what variation you're in, you're pushing down through the feet, you're opening the heart, you're engaging the core, and you're forgetting about it in no time. Coming into lunge, chilling here, or bringing left shoulder underneath left leg. Arms go wide, stay here, or find a bind. Got to find a lot of power in the legs here. That's super important. All right, hands come down. Maybe chilling, maybe taking side plank on the right side, maybe coming into wild thing. Huge breath. And we'll bring the hand down, downward facing dog. Please take rest if you need it. Like, really, this has been a very strong practice. In fact, I do take rest here. Yeah, I had a feeling. Come into child's pose. Or if you want more vinyasa, hey, maybe you've got more cardiovascular stamina than I've got. That's great. Enjoy your rest here in child's pose, savoring each and every breath. Remember, in that first child's pose we took, we promised to never abandon ourselves and our needs, even as we purify. So if you need more rest, take more rest, but otherwise we'll join in tabletop for a little stretch for the shoulders. We'll inhale, pick up the right arm, exhale, thread the needle, and bring the left fingertips up overhead. Twisting through the belly, decompressing through the spine, the shoulder blades. If your face is tight, soften it. Those shoulders should be ready for such a deep stretch. Eventually we'll come out, pick up the right arm, reopen, exhale, bring it down. Inhale, left arm high. Exhale, thread the needle towards the right. Sprinkle the right fingertips up overhead. Find this big twist. Most importantly, find your breath. Reopen this arm eventually, bring it back down, and we're going to walk the arms forward. Keep the hips high for puppy pose. So you could bring your forehead to the ground first. Make sure you can breathe here fully, that your back doesn't hurt. If your chest comes all the way to the ground and if you feel fairly comfortable here, you could bring your chin to the ground, but don't force it, especially if you have any neck pain, huh? Breathe into your heart. We're not here for long, though. Eventually crawling our way out and bringing the hips high for downward facing dog, but really we're just going to step forward to the center of the mat. Pivot to face the wide edge for a nice, juicy, wide angle fold series. Bring the legs wide, outer edges of feet parallel. Strong legs, micro bend in the knees as you hinge from the hips and fold towards the earth. Prasarita Padottanasana. Bring the hands down. You can let the spine dangle. Shake out your head, no. If you're hyperflexible, keep thinking about really engaging the legs. We don't want to overstretch the hamstrings. I've learned the hard way. So we're going to take a lot of stops on the way, okay? You could take your left hand to your right shin, reach your right arm up over you and twist underneath you towards the shin, and switch. Bring the opposite hand to opposite shin and twist towards the shin you're holding. And truly, you could just hold your fold this whole time, or you could bend one knee at a time, shifting hips side to side, like kind of skandasana. You could hold your big toes, you could exhale, fold. I'm really just giving you choices now. Please stay in your fold if you're enjoying it. But because this is a more advanced practice, I want to give an opportunity for those who like to invert. There is no pressure to invert, but if you like to either take handstand or forearm stand, or what I'm going to take is headstand, feel free to play. Now, I'm not going to teach you how to do headstand in this class. I do have post tutorials on all these inversions. But if you like to play, you can play. And please go to the wall if you need to. You can pause the video, play with any leg variations you like. Like here, I'm playing with straddle and straight legs. But we won't be here super long. Eventually, we're going to bring our feet back to earth. We'll all meet together in this wide angle fold, reaching the hands way ahead of us, hinging the hips back. Maybe you want to bring your hands behind your head to lengthen your neck a little more, or any fold variation that you love. Let this be spinal decompression time. And we'll inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, heel toe the feet closer together and pivot to face the original front of the mat. Fold forward a bit, Uttanasana, just to step it back, plank pose. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Maybe a bonus Chaturanga, maybe a bonus upward facing. You could just take a normal Vinyasa or take a few of these pulses. Eventually we meet in down dog. Take a breath or two here at least. We're preparing for our big peak pose. Inhale, pick up the left leg first this time. We'll change it up, step it forward. Here in a low lunge, tap the right knee down. Take a moment here, gather your breath, let your hips really make sure they feel open, yet strong. Maybe you need a sip of water like I do here. All right, from this lizard lunge, we're going to pop up the back knee. Now, the invitation is to bring the left shoulder underneath the left leg. We've done this before. We've been here. Really strong in the legs, strong in the arms. Reach back. You could stay here, or if you want to keep going with me, you bring the hands to bind. You could stay here, or you could put weight into the left foot. We're going to step the right foot forward. It's really awkward. See, awkward. Okay, stay here. Really, you can stay here. Or if you want to go for bird of paradise, push into the right foot. Squeeze the left leg in to bring it up with you. Activation in the legs. I can't emphasize enough. This is where really pushing through the standing leg matters. Flex your left toes. Stay here with the knee bent if you like, and make sure the left shoulder's plugged back, back, back. Or you could straighten the left leg out. Breathe. You know, I'll definitely do a more detailed post tutorial of this one soon. Okay, eventually we'll bring the left leg back down gently, as gently as we can. Step the right leg back, hands come down. Oof, super strong pose. Step back, knees down, take a child's pose. Please rest. Whether you held a low lunge the whole time, you held the bind, you came up to bird of paradise, know that those are all awesome options. No variation is better than the other. They're just different. Whenever you're ready, though, you can join me in down dog, and we'll step the right leg forward for second side, starting in this low lunge with the left knee down. Opening ourselves up, grounding ourselves, preparing. Finding breath. And picking up that back knee, we're going to bring the right shoulder underneath the right leg. And here you can watch me totally wobble around on this side. I'm not as good at this side. Go for the arms open, go for the bind. Stay here, or start to put weight into the right foot to step the left foot forward. See, already awkward. Here we go. I'm going to push into the left leg. Really strong, really strong. Squeezing the belly in, try to bring the leg up. Oh, there I go. Fall. See, I fall too. This side, I am I'm just not as good at this side. We're going to slowly push into the left leg, bring the leg up. There we go. Flex the toes. Still pretty tight on this side. A little less open in the shoulders. You might keep that right leg bent. You might straighten it a little bit. Like here, I'm not as deep as the other side, and I'm okay with it. Purification is not perfection. Slowly, though, we'll bring the right leg back down. We'll step the left leg back. We'll lose this bind if we had it. And we'll come back to Balasana, our beloved child's pose. Nice work, y'all. Whew. Not an easy practice, but a fun one, I hope. Bow down to the earth. Feel your beating heart. Whenever you're ready, you'll press yourself up and meet me sitting on your shins. Maybe your hands are on your heart, maybe they're on your lap. Just take another moment to feel the energy inside of you. This is what yoga's about. I actually don't care if you ever get bird of paradise. I care more about this journey of connecting to yourself. Eventually, when you're ready, meet me on your back. If you're tired, take your shavasana now, although I'll invite you through a few finishing poses like back bends and low back decompressors. But before we do that, let's just rest on our back for a moment with our knees bent, and then take the knees to the right for a gentle supine twist. Allowing the breath to soften, allowing the mind to soften. Notice the softness that arises after purifying, fiery practice. This increased willingness to surrender into the earth. When you're ready, bring your knees up and shift to the other side in your supine twist, bringing your knees to the left, staying just as soft, just as sweet. Relax here. You might feel tired. Let yourself be tired. We're in the sunset of our practice. No more forcing anything. But if you want more, I'll bring you through two options of a back bend practice. You can plant your feet, you can bend your knees, and prepare for bridge pose, bringing the hands down. Pushing through strong legs is important in either back bend here, okay? Push into the legs, engage the glutes a touch. Pick up your hips. Maybe interlace your fingers underneath you for more shoulder opening, scooting the shoulders underneath. You could stay right here. Breathing. But I'll also provide another option if you prefer to go into Urdhva Dhanurasana. You can bring your hips down. Upward facing bow. You might have heard it called a wheel pose. It's not really the name of the pose, but it doesn't matter. That's the pose we're about to go into. So we'll bring the hands back by the shoulders, by the ears. Now, I can't emphasize enough to push not only through the hands, but also through the legs. Power in the thighs. See why we do so many lunges in class? This is why. Push, push, push. Breathe through the back body. Hug the front ribs in a little more than I am, honestly. If you can't breathe fully, you're in too deep. Come back down to bridge. But we're not here long anyway. Eventually, bring yourself down to the earth. Very slowly, one vertebra at a time. Come out of your back bend. Bring your feet wide and your knees together for constructive rest. Clear the low back out a bit. We'll just be here for a moment, and our next poses will also be for decompressing the low back. When you're ready, extend your left leg up and bring your hands to the back of your left thigh. Now the point here is not for a big hamstring stretch. Push your hands and thigh into each other so we can root the femur bone down. So really just try to think about pushing your left hip down a little bit. Your leg might shake. This is a bit strong, but it's really great for decompressing the low back. Bring the left leg down. We'll do the same thing on the right side. Hands to back of thigh, pushing them into each other. Clearing the low back of tension after back bending is pretty important. We shouldn't be dumping in the low back in our back bends, but some tension can still gather there. So let it clear, let it ground, let it move down and out. Eventually we'll release this. And we'll bring the knees wide into our chest or rib cage. Or come into happy baby pose, Ananda Balasana, holding ankles or feet, opening our hips up. Now, a lot of people love happy baby, and you'll want to stay here, and if that's you, that's awesome. But if you want to come into plow pose, you can. You'll bring your hands to your low back, bring your hips up and legs behind you, but please do not turn your neck at all. Keep your gaze straight and neutral. And please do keep your hands on your low back until your feet comfortably can come to the ground behind you. If your feet are really on the ground behind you, you could interlace your fingers, bring them behind. But really, if those feet are floating, keep the hands on the low back. Whether you're in happy baby or plow, you should be feeling a grounding sensation. To exit plow, bring your hands back to your low back. And either one vertebra at a time, roll yourself out or exit through shoulder stand. Try not to slingshot your way out. That's the hard part. Got to engage your core to bring your back down. And draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself an honest hug. Maybe a few pulses for the low back, drawing the knees closer and extending away a bit. But then holding your hug in stillness. Thanking yourself for showing up to practice. And whenever you're ready, stretch your legs out long. Shimmy around as you need to. Open your palms to the sky or bring them anywhere that feels natural as you come into your final resting pose. Oh, your Shavasana. Close your eyes. Allow your body to be heavy. Let go of anything you did not do in your pose practice. And more importantly, please let go of everything you did do. This practice is not here to act as a competition of asanas or poses. Our poses are not trophies. Really, these poses are mere vehicles for purification, for transformation, for greeting ourselves through all the stages of life. Even if you had a pose today, it could be gone tomorrow. So just be grateful for the feeling the practice gives you. Above all else, that is purification. Enjoy your rest in Shavasana. I'll be quiet to honor your surrender into the force of gravity. And I'll let you know when it's time to come out so you can just fully sink into the rhythm of your breath. Before you move anything, invite a deep, full belly breath in. Allow the breath to lead the way always. But eventually, as you're ready to start coming back to body, you can slowly start to wiggle fingers and toes. And stretch your arms overhead, whatever you gotta do. And eventually meeting me in a fetal position on the side of your body, supported by the earth beneath you, thanking the earth beneath you for holding you through practice and rest. Pausing here, not rushing, but eventually crawling your way up to a soft, sweet, and comfortable seat. Your hands could be in your lap, maybe in prana mudra again, or any mudra you like. Closing the eyes, just take a moment to feel inside now versus almost an hour ago. Thank you so much for engaging in this practice of purification with me. It's been my absolute honor to hold space for you today. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. I'll see you soon. Have a beautiful day.